Howdy, y'all. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this October 5th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thank you again for joining me. God bless you all. Card in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist, and please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. I sure do appreciate it. All right, so yesterday we finished reading through all four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, about Jesus' earthly ministry. We've been jumping back and forth between those four books. Now we're going to get back to a more linear reading pattern here as we go to the next book in the New Testament, and that is the book of Acts. So a little bit of background. So the book of Acts is, predominantly dealing with the immediate time after Jesus' resurrection and his ascension to heaven, and the years that follow that. So this is going to deal primarily with the formation of the first assembly, the first church, if you will, of the Jewish followers and believers. And then it's going to progress and see how the message gets out through the rest of the nation, the rest of Israel. And then we'll also see the beginning of the Gentile ministry, see how the Gentiles receive the message of the gospel, right? This book is also written by Luke. So the same author that wrote the Gospel of Luke is writing the book of Acts mostly, right? Let's start at the very beginning, Acts 1, and pick it up in verse 1. Dear Theophilus, the first book I wrote was about everything Jesus did and taught from the beginning until the day he was carried up into heaven. Before he went, he talked to the apostles he had chosen. With the help of the Holy Spirit, he told them what they should do. This was after his death, but he showed them that he was alive, proving it to them in many ways. The apostles saw Jesus many times during the 40 days after he was raised from death. He spoke to them about God's kingdom. One time, when Jesus was eating with them, he told them not to leave Jerusalem. He said, "Wait here until you receive what the Father promised to send. Remember, I told you about it before. John baptized people with water, but in a few days you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit." Verse 6. The apostles were all together. They asked Jesus, "Lord, is this the time for you to give the people of Israel their kingdom again?" Jesus said to them, "The Father is the only one who has the authority to decide dates and times. They are not for you to know. But the Holy Spirit will come on you and give you power. You will be my witnesses. You will tell people everywhere about me, in Jerusalem, in the rest of Judea, in Samaria, and in every part of the world." After Jesus said this, he was lifted up into the sky. While they were watching, he went into a cloud, and they could not see him. They were staring into the sky where he had gone. Suddenly, two men wearing white clothes were standing beside them. They said, "Men from Galilee, why are you standing here looking into the sky? You saw Jesus carried away from you into heaven. He will come back in the same way you saw him go." All right, so the first part of this book begins as a letter Luke is writing to this person, Theophilus. He's explaining to them that what he wrote before was about Jesus from the very beginning, about his earthly ministry, right? All the way up until his ascension to heaven. Now he's writing about what happens after that, okay? So it says here that Jesus was on the earth for 40 days after his death and his return from death, right? So 40 days he's on earth, and then he's ascended into heaven. He continues to talk to his apostles, teaching them things, telling them about the kingdom of heaven, reminding them that he is going to send Holy Spirit to them, baptize them with the Holy Spirit so they can go and baptize others. Reminds them that about their commission to go and tell the nations about him, starting in Jerusalem and then going out through all of Judea, Samaria, Israel, and then eventually the message spreads to the rest of the world. Right? And then I want to go back to where it starts in verse 6, where the apostles asked Jesus, "Lord, is this the time for you to give the people of Israel their kingdom again?" Okay, so they're still thinking in earthly terms. Okay, once the Holy Spirit comes on them, their thinking will change, and that all things will be revealed to them, and they'll understand, oh, that's what he was trying to do. But not yet. Okay, they're still thinking earthly terms where the Messiah will establish his kingdom. Okay, so they're still thinking of an earthly kingdom of Israel, where they'll, drive out the Romans, the oppressors, and all their enemies, and they will have their earthly kingdom once again. But Jesus tells them the Father is the only one who has the authority to determine dates and times, and it's not for you to know. Okay, so you won't know when that time will be. Okay, so he's referring to later on in the end times when he will reestablish the earthly kingdom of Israel. Okay, he hasn't done it yet. He's established his spiritual kingdom right now, and then but later on in the end times, he will physically return and reestablish the earthly kingdom here on this planet, right? But we don't know when that's going to happen. And I've said it before. If you've ever heard or seen anyone, claim that they've cracked the code, that they've discovered some hidden message in the Bible, or they've received some sort of message, none of that is true. Okay? It says it quite plainly. The Father is the only one who has the authority to choose dates and times. The Father is the only one who knows when it's going to happen. No one else. Right? So just remember that anytime in the future when you hear someone saying the apocalypse is going to happen on this date, this time, or whatever, don't worry about it. Anyway, that's all for today, and we're going to pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me, and I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.